live. Hit the wrong button. I'm live though. Cool. If Dave's watching, I don't know. Are you gonna watch?
Yep.
I can show you some things that are gonna make you go, yeah, I'm gonna wait for it to go free to play.
Fair enough.
So let me know when you're.
I think there's a delay joining you on console at least.
Probably, possibly. Have to,
Just open your names like 3 times. It's like, nope. Close thing. Open up again.
I'm gonna untrack that and then track that again. No, where is this going? So are you watching now?
No.
I don't even know where I'm fully going. I'm going next to Holland Cavern, using a shadow. Oh, okay, I do know where I'm going. Let me know when you're watching, though. I wanna show you the things that I've learned, both on and off stream. Because I played a little bit last night, and then I played a little more this morning, and learned more things.
Hey, finally.
Finally got in. Oh,
Usually you'll have like a dot with like streaming or whatever above your name. And since you said you started, I kept on backing in and out and it didn't show that, and that's how I joined your...
Yeah.
I'm watching.
Okay. So, things that I've learned. My character still looks like my character.
Cool.
You may notice that I have a different weapon on my back. It's still the same sword and shield, but it's not... Yeah, so... I found out things. So, going to the shop, these are actual all weapons, like Warframe. These are all weapons that you can craft. They're not skins.
Oh, okay.
And they all do different things. So the other sword and shield I had like a charge where it would do a shield bash. This one does like a boosted attack and defense. And oh boy, crafting. I also found out how to craft them. Finding my way back to that spot is gonna mess me up a bit.
Before you purchase the set weapon, because it takes materials or currency, is there a way to see what it does? Or because of looking at the thing when you're in the shop, it only shows.
If you're purchasing it using real world currency, no, which is really annoying. You can, however, use it as a skin once you purchase it. I don't know if it's the same with crafting, but if you purchase it, you can use it as a skin.
So it's like an augment then. Okay.
So essentially, this shield and sword is a completely different weapon than the other sword and shield. But if I want to use that other sword and shield, I could use.
You can make it look like the sword you're using now.
Yeah.
Shield.
So I don't know if crafting will actually tell. Oh yeah, crafting will tell me. So if you go through the pay real money, it won't tell you what it does. But if you go through the crafting, at the bottom right, it tells you kind of like plunges the sword into the ground to unleash, and so it'll kind of tell you what it does. And similar to Warframe, you need to...
That was an oversight by having paid to do it and not seeing it, but when you're using game stuff, it shows it.
Yeah, you think it would, but... Yeah, if you go through the crafting, it's like Warframe, you need to craft almost every little... You need to craft one part of it, you need to craft another part, you need to craft a third part of it, and then once you have all 3 parts, then you can craft
But is it
the whole weapon. I believe it is. I haven't actually done the crafting.
Oh, okay.
But that is a thing I've now learned where, yeah, if you want to craft. Another issue I kept questioning myself last night, there's a bunch of cool weapons. One thing I started questioning myself last night, though, or at least not last night, but after the first time I played this and we kind of jumped into other stuff, and after that I kept thinking, what's the point or what's the objective? Because it seemed like a hero game, where you just had different heroes, each hero would have their own ability, but when you were going into multiplayer, it really didn't matter who you were bringing in a way. Like in Warframe, there's missions where having a tank character will help, or having a support character will help, but in the end of the day, you're just throwing your characters in the field, right?
Yeah.
So I was kind of questioning that. Is there actually a purpose of a tank or a support character in this? But then I ended up realizing, no, that matters. So you know Warframe, or you know how I was saying this game, you had characters that had specific weapons?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that goes straightly out. Completely outdoor. Any
So
character
now
can
if you
use any
wanted to
weapon.
use any weapon.
Each character will still have their own abilities, but they can go run around and be like, hey, I want to use...
Is there a negative to you using a weapon that's not to your character? Like you get like less damage because you're not using a...
I don't think so.
Gun or something.
I don't think so. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I do not
also,
think so.
you're new to this, you're kind of figuring stuff out too, so...
Yeah.
I just thought...
The loading
really like the look
is...
of it, though.
Oh yeah, but this is starting to turn more and more into, I can really see Digital Extremes touches on this. Like, I know the full dev team it's actually Airship Syndicate or something like that is the dev team that worked on this. But like I said, they had help with Digital Extreme. Digital Extreme. They worked very closely with, like, both dev teams worked really closely together for this. And you can really see that Warframe aspects that they kind of
Push the dungeon kind of...
So, like, it's got the random dungeon things. You can pretty much switch your weapons. Each weapon has its own unique... They do have their own unique perks and stats.
So I assume the thing that looked like a gray circle with I don't know what in it was that gun's perk or whatever.
Yeah. So, like, this one has the little circle of the sword, and if I go out and do stuff... I'm assuming it might be, like, each weapon charges its perk differently. I think that's my assumption.
Because that one has 3 circles and some...
Well, this one can charge up as well, so, like, the more I... Really, guys? Come on! I'm gonna have to run forward. I don't know why those guys weren't attacking me. I also found out that those purple lines that were in the sky, they're like little zip lines you can zip line around. There we go. So as I use it, see now it's lit up. And then it's got the extra shield, so if I keep going, it'll like get a little bit stronger when I use it. If I fill up the bars. So that's something I've learned. Just trying to get it to fill up a bit more so that when I use it, oh, I don't know if it's gonna finish that guy. I find this is the best way I've had for filling it up, is doing stuff like that. So before it would, if I had to use my other weapon to do sword bash, but this does like this little, like, it enhances. So that's something I've learned. That's something that's like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. So you can craft weapons or you can buy weapons, like Warframe. Each weapon has its own thing, and on top of that, I just wanted to get the gun. On top of that, you can also mod it similar to Warframe, where this I kind of showed last time, but I figured it out a bit more. So as it levels up, your capacity in it enhances, and then you can kind of put more stuff in it to make it a little bit better.
Okay.
Each character obviously levels up separate too, so similar to Warframe as well. Each slot they level, or they get their first abilities at 3, 5, and 9, and then I'm assuming after level 9, you'll see like this says level on the right side. It says like level 1, level 2, level 3.
Yeah,
So
you'll
I'm
also
assuming it'll
go
circle around back again and start leveling up
again like Warframe.
again, like Warframe. And then each character has kind of like their passives, their archetypes, and whatnot.
Okay, yeah.
And like Warframe, it's not as simple. You just have to get one thing to unlock the character. You have to get multiple pieces to unlock the character. I think the only thing that's un-Warframey at the moment is, I mean, even like Warframe, how they do the shaders if you're customizing your character. Because Warframe kind of does something similar to that, but not quite. I mean, Warframe lets you pick a bit more.
Definitely when it comes to colors.
Yeah, when you pick colors, it gives you like the same kind of like packets, but then you can kind of choose colors from the packet. Weapons, characters, everything levels up separate. Like, oh my god, it's you can definitely tell, like, even if it was a different dev team that worked on it, you can definitely tell, like, Digital Extreme, they got information. Yeah. I haven't seen a lot of people running around with different weapons, but I ended up learning about the different weapon thing. Purchasing characters won't tell you what they do, but going to craft it will give you a full overview of all the abilities that they have. Is another thing that I have learned. So on the purchase side, it straight up just doesn't tell you if you have enough coin or points, right? Like you can.
The only reason I can see that is if people keep on like somebody's like a whale and they're like, oh, I'll just buy as many characters until I find one that I like.
Well, I think for the from my understanding of the battle pass, which is the only thing that I've seen so far that is really, I mean, apart from the aesthetic and the sum of it, it's not fully like one-to-one with Warframe, but the battle pass is probably the biggest thing that Warframe just doesn't even have. My understanding with the battle pass is that there's a free track, and the free track will have access to the characters, but you have to really go through it. So I mean, that was one piece of the character I needed. I think the next piece is somewhere up here, as well as I think it was closer to the end. There we go. So this is like the next component, and it's closer to the end of the second page. I don't know where the other two components are.
How many pages are there?
This I am not 100% sure of. As far as I can see 4 pages, but then it looks like it says to the next page up. So I mean, these seem to be skins though. So on the battle pass, there's mostly cosmetics, but then it'll also give you. There are some things that will help you level up, but it's mostly skins on the battle pass and cosmetic wise. But there are, like, once again, there's things that you can use in your home because you do get a housing system, obviously, for whatever reasons. And then as I'm like hovering over something right now, there are things that are like, this will help you get an XP boost on certain gear. But the battle pass doesn't go away. So every time they come out with a new battle pass, you can choose to work on the new battle pass, or you can choose to work on an older battle pass. I think the only difference is you have to claim the battle pass. So the battle pass may leave after an X amount of time, and if you haven't claimed it, then you're out of luck. But if you have,
do it in like twos or something, where you'll have 2 going up and then the last one, so it might disappear, whatever.
yeah, but if you've claimed it, you at least can always have it. If you just haven't claimed it, then But yeah, you can look at like the different characters. So because I got this character, I can look and be like, okay, he does a Siphon Radiant thing where he releases a wave of energy. Arcane Focus. Hand of Reckoning. The Hand of Reckoning looks kind of cool, to be honest. And then I can see what like his passive is. But that's the thing I've learned. So the other thing is it lets you pick which abilities you want to go with. So like whenever you do level up to a point where you unlock an ability, it'll be like,
which one do you want to do first?
yeah, it'll be like, do you want this ability or do you want that ability? Sorry, just reading this. Complete additional hunt with max 8 for each difficulty. One of the first dungeons I did wouldn't actually progress story unless I did it solo, so I had to review it solo. I'm also not seeing a lot of there's two people there, same character. I think one of the skins, they do have character skins go up on the store, and then they have the ultimate founder pack, which comes with a set of character skins.
Yeah, definitely thought this would be crazy.
Well, I mean, at least the skins are skins. I thought there we go, people are joining. I haven't seen a lot of people use weapons that aren't towards their character, so I don't know. If it's just a thing that people haven't like clued into yet, or people just don't care and they're like, hey, this is my hero and this is their start off weapon. Then again, also I was doing more early stuff, so people just maybe to that point where you kind of find out you can get different weapons. Or how to craft. Well, I also don't know how hard it is going to be to even get some of the crafting. I mean, it looks like it's a lot of... It looks Warframey in the sense that it is going to be... Come on, dude, you can do it. Like, you have to build multiple pieces, and then once you build the pieces, it sounds like you kind of come into a dungeon to unlock the character or things. I mean, that was kind of great. There are doing the dungeons, or some of the dungeons I've done now, there are really like secrets and stuff in it. Like I found secret passages and stuff in one of them I was doing. Like full on not on the map. Passages, which was kind of cool. There's public events in the open world, because, you know, of course, public events in the open world. I'll be able to charge up that ability. I picked some shield bubble for this character. And I'm just watching it slightly below, like my L1 circle kind of thing. I'm watching it slightly kind of get a glow around the outline of it. So I guess you probably have to charge it up before you can actually use it. But yeah, so like I've learned like some of these dungeons, there's sections that are already on the map that's like, oh, you go here, you might actually have which is cool. I mean, I'm not gonna lie and say I'm not enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. At least what I played, and playing a lot more of it. I like the art style. But it's so much like Warframe. Which isn't a bad thing, but it's also, they could have done maybe a little bit more uniqueness to it. Or like they could have kept like something I'm just gonna say I would have thought would have been cool, and I would have kind of liked. Keep the hero aspect of like each character has its own weapon, has its own, you know, thing that makes them
Special.
And then go a little bit more old school where yes, classes actually matter. Like maybe when you're matchmaking, it's gonna look for people that will hopefully play as a tanky character and stuff.
So this is kind of not doing that. It's kind of like
This is just Warframe. You can go in however you want to go in. You might get lucky and have someone. I mean, imagine maybe harder, because it was just saying now like there are harder versions of dungeons. So probably harder versions you might want to actually work out who you're playing and who you're playing with. More so than I really want to try this ability, and I hate that I have to like charge it up, I guess, to use it. I picked the shield, so I'm like, oh, the shield's gonna be interesting to have. Little shield bubble. Now I'm like forgetting, I should have went with the other one. Ah, here, I'll get to use it. You're not wrong, like, it probably would also cause people to, like, lock in if it was, like, you have to be a tank and whatnot. And I'm not saying, like, they could have gone full on like that, but they could have, you know, at least made it so that it would maybe matter. Like at the moment in time speaking. Get behind me! I like it. It's supposed to like make you immune or something when you're inside the bubble. Or like really bolster everyone's defenses when they're inside the bubble. Like I'm not saying it has to be like for ability wise, it doesn't have to be like 1-to-1. You have to be a tank, you have to be, but it would make just character and class matter. Yeah. I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe that's something that at higher levels will affect things. Or maybe just like harder dungeons may require you, like I said, maybe might require you to work as a team a bit more and be like, okay, you might want to slow down, or maybe you were gonna say.
Because you're still exploring areas too, right?
Yeah, I'm still really early on. It just gave me the whole like, oh yeah, there's harder versions of dungeons. Just learned about how crafting characters and weapons work. I swear that's the first time I'm seeing a different character use a different weapon. That sort of looks like something out of Darksiders. I mean, everyone in this game looks like something out of Darksiders anyway, but still.
The imbuement worked. Shadow is the strongest element within the gloom, but it proves the gloom can be beyond that. I've seen these before. It seems this work was done deep. We've never found a path beyond the. It surely exists somewhere in the.
Dungeons you have to go out and find in the open world, but this one dungeon here, it seems like once you find or unlock a dungeon in the open world,
she's a smuggler who used to work with the Shrikes.
You can do it here.
Kestrel keeps a low profile, but I'm sure.
I don't mean to be talking over these characters' conversation, but a lot of I find talking to characters like this, it's no audio or anything, so I just don't. Okay, I'm gonna say this as a complaint in terms of microtransactions. My two biggest complaints in terms of microtransactions. One, as you already pointed out, it doesn't tell you what weapons or stuff do. So let's say you end up having enough to buy a weapon, and you're like, well, I don't want to craft a weapon, I want to buy it. It doesn't tell you what it does. I mean, sure, you can run and go look at
what it takes
at
to
the
make
description
it,
and then see there, but still.
Yeah.
Two, and this is always going to be a complaint with me, in any game, I have the same complaint in Diablo 4, is I love how, let's say I want to buy a skin for my character, like let's say I really like my character Wingrave and I just want to buy a skin for him.
Yeah.
There's no way to buy a skin for him. I mean, they have these 2 skins here that I guess will rotate out in 7 hours, and then maybe.
Oh god, I hate that stuff.
Like.
Maybe you'll have an outfit for him, or not. Maybe
it won't. Maybe you'll have a good one. Maybe you'll have a bad one, and I'll look and I'll be like, that sucks. I mean, I'm sure they got this badass mage there, but that's if you spend and buy the highest price. But for like these two, it's like, what if I want a cool Wingrave character? Like, come on. Master at Arms. Why do they want me to come to?
Wayfinder, shouldn't you be out saving Kestrel? The Shrike who emptied the Imperial treasury?
Of course she survived. The fall couldn't kill...
You talking about Kestrel? I heard she has a hideout in the Bloodworks mine.
Don't believe anything this lot says. If anyone knows where to...
I guess that's just supposed to
Always a
talk to
delight to
person.
see a new wayfinder at the bitter end. What can my reputation? Kestrel was one of the original Shrikes. Before the fall, Kestrel was the slipperiest smuggler in the Westreach.
Like, that's just me with
I
like
still have a bottle of blood
microtransactions.
sherry
Like,
she carried to the maze.
do it like how I mean, I hate to say do it how Destiny does it, but do it in a way where
Most think Kestrel
I can
died
look
in
and
the
I can
fall,
see
but I think she's
see
still
my
making
options
sure
for my
if you're serious
characters.
about making contact, I'd take
Same.
a jaunt down the Great
It's probably the
Rift
one
and
thing
speak
like
with the
I'm surprised they
warden.
didn't take from
They say
Warframe.
she
Where
and
Warframe
Kestrel
lets
are
you look and go, oh look, I can see all the
acquainted, as it were. Good luck.
different skins available to my character. And I like that. Even if I don't spend money. Even if I'm not going to spend money. I like being
You
able
like
to look
seeing
and...
your options rather than just being like, oh cool, there's 2, I gotta wait till next week or next couple of hours to see what the next one's rotating. It's like, really guys? You couldn't just have it on one screen, all of them.
Oh, I have the golem. You'll notice I have like a little blue mark under the piece, under the image on the
Yes.
left. That means you have one part of the set needed, which in this case is the gold.
Is gold. Yeah.
It had me kind of just questioning for a second. I'm like, wait, I have a piece for it already? Honestly,
Yeah,
a chainsaw
just the
thing
money.
build would be cool. Launches the shield to tear through and bounce between enemies, deals additional damage for each. Oh, chainsaw thing would totally be what I'd go with next.
One thing that'd be even more better is if you could see like a short little thing showing what the actual skill buff is rather than just the description.
Yeah, like how the power, looking at the character powers, it shows you a little thing. Arcane Harvest, the spinning slash that deals damage and steals ability power from enemies, increasing the power to each. Oh, that would totally go good with the other character, because I think he has like an arcane build-up. I just mean like, yeah, you're right, because it would also show like if a weapon does do... I'm assuming or hoping that yes, using a particular weapon, maybe you'll get bonuses using a particular weapon as their character. Could be wrong. I wonder where this elevator goes. Will I get lost?
Elevator.
I saw someone ride it up, it just takes you up. Okay. Just curious. I don't really like the layout of how they have their world right now, but that's also maybe just because I've gotten lost a few times already. Well, I mean, I got lost earlier before I started streaming. I don't know, like whenever we play like survival games and I start building a base, I always have this big complex like, oh, there's going to be a kitchen area, there's going to be a area for smelting and stuff. But then when you look at games like that, it's also, that's just not convenient. Just put a lot of stuff in the, oh my god, in the same spot.
Yeah, like have one room that's for like all your like stuff you've gathered, and then have another room that has like all your stuff you take and make into like metal.
Yeah, so just
whatever,
like
whatever.
I mean, they have a lot of the crafting stuff, or a lot of the weapon and the artifact and the potion vendors together, but put it close to the entrance of the dungeon where you have the character crafter and everything, because like that's.
Nah, but we want it all separate, so you have to run and explore our area that we made.
And then make me run. Like it gives space if you're in a more packed lobby. It gives you space, like at least not everyone's shoulder to shoulder, but like put everything together so that I don't have to go too far to get anywhere.
I'll have to run in 5 minutes and make it 5 minutes and get lost halfway through there.
Look what the gloom dragged in. The Seekers don't want the nefarious Kestrel doing business in their pristine little the trial of lingering light.
Or have it so you could open them up and have a waypoint that shows you where to go.
People call me a
They had the little warp thing where you could warp right next to it. That'd be nice too.
It needs. If I want something in return, well, that's
yeah, but I feel like that'd be even lazier.
His lordship
Lazy is sometimes good. Players are lazy.
But if you're gonna at least have you run from point A, at least have you be able to open the map and be like, okay, cool, so I want to go to this area. Cool, now there's a map that shows you can look at, or it shows in the real world, like how Division does it. Here with this guy. I was building up to at the moment. Yeah, I know what you mean, like... Oh, I found this spot already. It wouldn't let me enter it, but I found it while exploring. Yeah, so it's like this little... Oh, good thing I came up here. Ooh, reverse.
Yeah, so you see talking to this guy like there's no audio.
And I love how his hair clips through the hood that he's wearing.
No, I think that's just spikes on the hood, man. He's got spiky
really? Look
hood.
Look where his hair
Look,
is.
man. I've already done talking to him. I've moved on.
There.
I've already moved on.
I know.
Oh, I'm already
just had through the TV slightly.
I'm already upset that I can't look at cool. I mean, I already like the way my character looks in general, but I'm upset that I can't look at like other armors to at least make them look
much different than everybody else's.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I like having characters that look different, even if they look the same as everyone or like some other person. As long as they look slightly different than every other person, then I'm happy. Find the pit breach. I already found the goddamn pit breach, and I wanted to go through it, and you told me no, I couldn't go through it. right there. And I already have the waypoint to prove that I found it. I mean, I can't fast travel because this dude's here trying to attack me, but...
I love how I was trying to attack you, his back was also turned.
Well, he ran up to me and then he stopped trying to attack me. I don't know why, he just like, no, I don't want to attack anymore. I was like, cool. I want to get to level 9 so I can get my last ability and then start leveling up again. I'm still sticking, okay, so... I think... Running over hard gloom at half healthy will... Huh, interesting. So you can put little modifiers. I think that also changes up what drops or what can drop in a dungeon. I think. Yeah, one of the dungeons I was doing last time I streamed, though, like, there's a story to do it, and it just wasn't progressing, and I had to actually go in solo for it to
count.
Yeah.
Well,
Which is kind of
annoying.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous and worried, to be honest, that if it does find looking for servers, this is always going to be another issue that happens sometimes. If there's not a big population, then it might take a while to find something for me to play with.
Yeah, that's why a lot of these type of games, unless it's one of those ones where I know you have it and we'll be playing it, I'm just like, I'm not going to play solo.
I don't mind playing solo.
I got enough solo player games, and there's a bunch of other ones planned that are coming out that I would like to get. So I'm like, I could save my money for those type rather than like online MMO type games.
Can I put a shadow imbuement on top of the shadow imbuement I already put into this?
No.
Looks like it. Looks like I'm soloing it anywhere. Doesn't seem like it spawned anyone in. Yeah, those also seem to be like little modifiers. I don't know if that counts, like if that was going on top of what I already put in. But I know, like, I've tried adding in other stuff, and it's like, it'll give me an item and then be like,
somebody's spazzing.
somebody don't know where to go. I'd really like to fight it away from the clip that will kill me if I fall down. Like, I'm not... For anyone looking at buying this, it is a fun game. Founder's good. Some issues getting in. It seems like they finally have these servers stable compared to what it used to be. Oh, someone did join. I wonder if that was if they have a join in progress system kind of going on. It'd be nice if they do.
Would make sense why you now notice that somebody else joined them before no one.
Yeah, but I mean, like, some games are sometimes in other games that you think would implement stuff like that, they don't even have that, and you're just kind of like...
When somebody leaves, you're kind of like, well, either I'm crafting this by myself, or I'm
Okay, so we have some uniqueness in dungeons as well. I mean, I don't know if there's a whole system here with it, like, do I can check this? Oh, yeah, definitely has a join progress. But yeah, going back to it, yeah, some games like they don't have that in some of these games. Well, I'm screwed. Oh, okay, yep. And going back to the other thing there, so the flow is not like just stay straight up. Let it go and it over there. You gotta keep fueling it. So that means there probably is or will be dungeons where maybe the objective might be defensive. That was just like another concern. Like, is it?
Maybe I'd rather clear it up here. I assume you had mostly stuff.
Well, kept doing one of the second dungeon multiple times, trying to figure out how to get the mission that I was going to do work. They kept telling me like, go in here and destroy these webs in there, and I'm like, I don't see the webs. So then I kind of Googled it, and someone was like, yeah, you know, I did it solo and it counted, and then I was with my girlfriend, it didn't count for her, and then when she did solo, it counted. So I'm like, okay, I guess try to count. So I don't know if that's just a issue that dungeon. I mean, it's something I think they will hopefully fix, because that's kind of sucks in a way to have like a game that maybe you want to play with a friend and then have to be like, oh, we have to
farm with friends, you know.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like this is the first game.
You need more of a drive to play games.
Be like. I don't know, man. This at least already has better dungeons than Genshin. I don't mean to put Genshin down. I like Genshin and everything, but Genshin's dungeons suck. This so far has more of my attention than what Warframe does. I haven't actually watched the trailer for it yet. I've heard it's more Souls-like, which I didn't think it was originally supposed to be, but it sounds like it's going to be.
Yeah, I finally saw the trailer to that old Spider-Man meets GTA game you mentioned the other day.
Project Museum.
Yeah.
Told you, it's got like Spider-Man. Sweet.
Well, it looks interesting, but yeah, it looks like they just took a bunch of stuff.
It's gonna be another free-to-play Genshin Tower Fantasy, and not to dish on Tower Fantasy, because Tower Fantasy is actually a fun game too. I know I haven't been playing it as much as I probably should. It's just it's very Genshin-y. Play the game, it's wonk.
You won't get through me.
Oh, it does have a lot more PvP type games and stuff too.
I think there's some wish list section.
Oh, no, I'm trying to see, like, the other guy do some of his abilities and stuff, so I could see what I will eventually be able to do, since I have that character. I just don't have the fancy skinning as. The site I was looking at. Secrets. See, there's walls you can break. There was one where it was like actually mimics. I think I'd be so excited to see mimics. Well, my problem is that I think I chat with them in the game as well. Say, hey guys, I found something over here. be able to see me going off the map, but I don't think they'll be like, hey, let's go check there. Granted, one of the hidden secret dungeon areas I found, the going off the map was actually, or the spot that was off the map was like actually off the map. You couldn't see it on the map. I think that's first death. Was that a time counting down on the respawns, or was that a time saying how many times you can respawn? I didn't even look, I just noticed, like, as I hit respawn now, I saw the number, and I was just like, because that would make sense, like, you can maybe only die so many times in a dungeon before the dungeon fails, kind of thing. I don't know what that did, but it would have done something. It had to have done something. It did something, I just don't know what it did. Oh! Allowed me to get that stuff that was up there when I was jumping up there.
Oh.
Not as intricate as... Honestly, man, it really caught me off guard and it really impressed me was finding, like... Did no one think to attack the wall? Considering everyone was running away from the wall. Yeah, when I was doing, anyways, I was doing like, so I was doing the other dungeon, and there was like a candle on the wall, and it just, as I ran by it, I saw the like push R1. I was like, that's weird. So I pushed it, and then it was like this full-on like hidden room opened up, and it was just like that. And like it was fully off the map and everything, and I was just like, that's so cool. I don't know what that did, but I'm starting some machine. Yeah, what's it? Cooperative. You can say, see Travis, you got to do your little tanky teamwork thing there.
You don't even need to say it, you just said it.
I guess one person zip line down at a time. Well, I saw when I put my shield up, the other dude went behind me. I can assume as well. There's a lot of assumptions here. They're gonna definitely like the plans to add more characters over time, and possibly, I would guess, possibly other types of different weapons. It seems like you have either sword and shield, gun, and well, I think it's like two-handed, either axe or sword. The scythe counts as that.
two blades, I think.
And the dual dagger. So like I'm assuming like maybe they'll end up adding stuff. Like maybe they'll add wands or flails and stuff. Yeah. And then probably have different characters that specialize in other. That is always going to be the big concern. I think starting off the way they did may not.
Get behind me!
Yeah. I mean, it's early access, and hopefully people will go into it going like, oh, early access. It's acceptable, or it's fine that it kind of had issues. And don't get me wrong, like, yes, it is early access, it is acceptable that it has issues. I'm not condoning the, I'm not necessarily condoning the full... was that the way it came? Yeah, it must have been the way it came, or just a fancy way to get back there. And poisoned myself doing that.
Yeah, but you should go into early access knowing that the game's just be bugged and stuff.
Yeah, you're gonna have issues going into it. There are definitely other things that could maybe hopefully help. Like Digital Extremes worked with them, and it's technically been a joint thing both ways. So some of the art team for this game helped make one of the frames in Warframe. But definitely maybe having a bigger impact of a crossover may help bolster some recognition to this game. I know there was gonna completely date this video on YouTube, as I tend to do often. There was a TennoCon recently, which is why I've been made comments about Soulframe being a thing that's gone worse. I probably should have waited for the other guys to show up to take this guy on. And then I just broke his shield now, so that's why I'm doing a lot more damage. Because enemies have a kind of stagger shield. He did get bigger. Probably like a bit of an enrage function. Down so low, they do like... bonus attacks or something like that. Anyways, I was gonna say, like, I don't know they actually even promoted this at TennoCon, and I think that like, I know fine, Digital Extreme didn't really make this, they just helped, but I think that probably could have helped though, like at like at a Digital Extreme thing, being like, hey, you know, I know we're showing off Warframe stuff, but hey, here's this other game that we want to take a look at. But that's also okay, I'm just going to also throw this out here. I like that, yes, Digital Extreme is working on another game. Like, I'm not against them working on Warframe. Same goes with Bungie. Like, I'm not against the fact that they are working on various, I think they have like 3 other games that they're apparently working on. one's already been kind of matter or whatever it's called. I think it starts with that. The extraction shooter that they had a trailer for. That's apparently based off of one of their older games. They showed off that. They have two others that are apparently work that they haven't yet. I'm not necessarily against that, but I do think that yes, makes stuff that is to me the concern of what it's going to be for the older game. So we didn't get the full amount of loot that we got. I don't know what we missed. That's my assumption. Like 3 chests at the top is it's like a getting all the loot and stuff affects. Yeah, affects the bonus rewards. So it might be like maybe a time thing. Like maybe if you take too long.
Yeah, because there's that bar, so maybe.
Yeah. Or maybe it's a point system. You have to get X amount of points, and then you'll get bonus loot at the end. I don't know. That I haven't quite figured out. It probably told me, and I just haven't.
Click buy it. Trying to get into the game.
Eventually, I'll figure it out. But
trial and error.
Yeah, but going back to like what I was saying, like I'm concerned that some of these games are going to take away from the main focal point. Like people are going to go to Soulframe, and well, how's that going to affect Warframe? I mean, on the other hand, the concern is how is it going to affect Soulframe if people don't want to move over to Soulframe?
Because they've already started they already have a lot of stuff invested into Warframe, right?
Yeah. They might not want to. But then again, vice versa, people might move to Soulframe and they might not want to go back to Warframe because Warframe's the older game.
And then you have the people that are going to stay, but then they may not get, support because the developers have moved on to the other one, right?
Yeah, the devs are either going to be like, hey, we're moving on, or... That's my thing with this, like, I would like to actually see this bolster. I'm enjoying this. I'm not trying to tell people, like, oh, wait to go free to play. Like, if you don't like what you see, it is supposed to go free to play. It's essentially Warframe, so if you don't like the Warframe model...
I don't like this.
Then that is gonna kind of...
Something is very...
Hopefully this doesn't put you off and has
wayfinder.
enough differences
We've got a mystery on our
so
hands.
that...
And you're gonna help me solve it.
If you didn't like the Warframe model, you'll at least give this a try.
She's right.
Well, well.
Hush.
Splendid.
But...
And yet,
It always seemed...
We've already seen what dungeon you just did. They're having something slightly different.
Yeah, I like it. I don't know if spending the 100 whatever on the highest edition is really worth it. I mean, it's tempting, don't get me wrong. The mage and the outfits, at least having a outfit that I think is supposed to be exclusive to the starting characters, is always a tempt. Not to mention having the bonus to put money towards various, I don't know, there's fall damage, so when I made that jump I thought for a second maybe I did something wrong. I made the jump and saw it straight down, I was just like, oh shit. But yeah, no, like having the bonuses and exclusive stuff like that is very, very tempting. If you're really unsure, then it's about 20 bucks American. I think it was like 30 something Canadian, which isn't bad. It has already, in my opinion, proven to be worthy. But if the planet succeeds and it doesn't going free to play, then hey, like it's still good. I don't assume that the plan isn't going to, plan for not to go free to play is going to change anytime soon. What was I supposed to craft here? To craft the Bluestone. Oh. Bluestone.
Transactions and rebuilding stuff like Warframe.
Well, it's supposed to have the same transactional model of Warframe, so which it already kind of does in terms of you can craft everything or you can build everything.
Yep. Which
like
is
that.
more reasonable of why it might be free to play.
Yeah. So like if you ever
on the side.
I don't know how far back you saw the Yoda on the side. I started running, so when you said, you mean the green skull over there?
That's looking around.
Oh.
I don't know where you are in that, right there with the cross going through it, or the circle and the line going through it.
It kind of looks like it could be Yoda. I didn't know how far back you saw something. That's what I was like trying to be like, wait, what?
Yeah, I don't know how much of a like a kind of an idea how much the delay is for this, but
I just want to clarify. If anyone actually is watching this and they hear me say this, if you like what you see, go support the game. I will always be that person to say go support the game. I bought a Founders Pack. I spent $30. I bought the lowest edition. What was it? I don't know. I think that's another person's special. Probably glitch there. Go support the game. I bought the lowest edition Founder Pack. This is definitely one of those games where you're gonna see me probably put a little extra TLC into a cosmetic or two, which is why I was saying like I would like to see. I love how I'm trying to like actually talk up the game now, and it's glitching, and I'm like pushing R1 to go in the building, and it's not going in the building. Like, yes, everyone, support the game. If you like what you see, buy the game. By the way, it doesn't work right now. It's not working. It's not letting me in. In fact, now it's not even letting me push R1. Let me in.
Wait like a week or two. Bed.
Follow the devs on Discord. Just kind of.
Yeah, I definitely love how you're supporting the
Look,
game.
I'm trying to be like
bugs.
Oh, I think it just kicked me. Yay! Yeah, this is no. Honestly, there is a lot of bugs. It's in early access right now. Maybe follow them on Discord and stuff, but definitely like this is a game where I will probably actually buy a microtransaction or two when it just supports devs. I would love to see this game flourish. I don't know if it has enough to really differentiate itself in a lot of ways. I don't fully know how the progression is going to work in the long term. I've seen 2 different dungeons. I'd like to see more thought into some of the dungeons going forward. I don't fully know how the crafting of weapons and stuff works just yet. But yeah, like if you like what you see, just follow them on Twitter, follow them on Discord, and kind of maybe consider purchasing it either when it goes free to play or when it right now. Just understand that obviously right now it's early access.
A work in progress for both.
Yeah, there's going to be issues like this. In fact, some of the issues like this they've been doing, I know, like not to keep everyone watching a disconnect screen, but I do know that they have posted online too that they have purposely kicked people for the fact that they've been setting up new servers, so they've been trying to move or migrate people to the new servers. So there's a good chance that I might have been on one of the older servers, and that's just what's going on right now. Like they're kind of pushing me to move to the new server, which will hopefully be a little bit more stable. That being said, I think we're gonna jump into something different. So, if you're, I mean, no one's watching me stream right now, but stay tuned for other stuff.